was she? 2 episodes both about this woman, Hagar.
This Egyptian slave woman who is in Abraham's household. And she's the one who first calls God who sees, El Roi. And she calls him that first. So who was she? It says in Genesis 16, verse 1, now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children. She had a female Egyptian servant. Her name was Hagar. Why had she given no children? She was barren. And she had this slave woman, this maidservant or slave named Hagar. She's Egyptian. Remember when Abraham in chapter 12 went down to Egypt and Abraham lies about his wife, calling her his sister, and Pharaoh takes her into the harem, and then eventually it's found out, and he gives to Abraham a lot of gifts, and among the gifts are slaves. It says in verse 16 of Genesis 12, for her sake he dealt well with Abram, and he had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female donkeys, and camels. So among the gifts that Pharaoh, the Egyptian king, gave to this Hebrew Abraham were slaves. Probably Hagar was one of them. She was an Egyptian who was in Abram's household. She didn't volunteer to be part of the household. She was not in charge of her own life. She had very little freedom. In fact, she was sort of powerless. She was there as a slave girl. She had to do what she was told. She served her master. She was being used by them for their purposes. She was part of the household. She was a foreigner. She didn't speak Hebrew as her native language. So there she is. She's a slave. She's a foreigner in this house. She's a powerless woman in this household.